Fallout New Vegas has over 106 weapons in-game, with 41 unique variants of those weapons, and there are 2 weapons in that list that you can acquire as soon as you wake up in Doc Mitchell's house. One of those weapons I will be using. Can you beat Fallout New Vegas with only a laser pistol? First things first, I woke up. I gave myself the appropriate name, Beans, for no particular reason really. Made my character look super badass with the 3rd preset. Walked to the vigor tester and looked at the eye distance chart on the wall that I'd actually never seen before while playing New Vegas. I picked up the laser pistol from the metal box in Doc Mitchell's house, for early access of course. Chose my special points and drained my points into perception, because I read online that agility weapons... Why the fuck did I say agility weapons? Because I read online that energy weapons are best used with perception. But I also read that agility was best used for energy weapons, so I went with 8 in agility just in case, because you can never be too sure in New Vegas. Sat down, did the test, chose barter, energy weapons of course, and medicine as my skills, picked skilled and wild wasteland as my traits, got back up, stole a pre-war hat because I'm evil, got my Pip-Boy, and was off into the Mojave Wasteland. My first stop was to go inside Chet's and sell everything that I had on my person, so I could get some few extra caps. Left Chet's, went and talked to Sunny Smiles, went outside to do her quest and got the varmint rifle, did some shooty bang bang on some bottles, tried to continue her quest line for some easy XP, but I apparently failed the quest when I shot 2 geckos during that quest. I don't know if that's a bug or not, but yeah, I don't get to do the quest I guess. Anyways, I continued the main storyline and was off for Primm. When I got to Primm, I was greeted by an NCR trooper. He told me that Primm was off limits, but being the badass that I am, I went ahead into Primm anyways. Decided it would be a good idea to get an NCR outfit early so I could get into Camp Karen. The game crashed, I loaded back in, I killed the NCR trooper again, stole his clothes again, and walked into Primm. My first order of business was to kill the 2 escaped convicts, looted their bodies, and walked into the Vicky and Vance casino. I was greeted by Johnson Nash, bought any and all energy cells from him, left the casino, and entered the Bison Steve Hotel. It was a breeze killing the convicts with the laser pistol. Got into a little kerfuffle with the convict leader and his flamer. He put up a fair fight, but I killed him and took his flamer for easy caps. Saved Deputy Beagle, Beagle and I left the hotel, and I left Primm and its problems behind and was on my way to Camp McCarran. On my way there, I discovered the NCR correctional facility and tried teleporting to it, and the game crashed. Loaded back in, successfully teleported to the facility without the game crashing, briefly talked to Dawes, left the facility, came across this nifty looking danger no entry sign, walked up to the gate, saw that it was Hidden Valley, rethunk my life decisions, and turned around and left. I also leveled up and assigned my skill points into energy weapons, barter, lockpick, and science. Why science, you may ask? I really don't remember actually. Oh yeah, and I also put it in speech as well. I chose my perk as Swift Learner because you gain an additional 10% to your XP whenever you gain XP somewhere, which is obviously helpful, and was back on the road to Camp McCarran. Stopped by and said hello to Snuffles and fixed his leg. Had some friendly encounters with young Deathclaws. Got chased and died for the first time in the playthrough. Got sent back to the correctional facility after dying, and I was really annoyed if you couldn't tell. Took a smarter approach to the Deathclaws by becoming Obi-Wan and having the high ground. They did not like that one bit. I leveled up again, got jumped by some fiends, I dealt with the fiends, and saw some cool propaganda on the walls, and I officially made it to Camp McCarran. I'm going to be honest with you, I forgot what I actually had to do here at the camp. I basically forgot that you had to take the monorail to get to the strip the fast way, so instead I looked around for a bit and left the camp to head to Freeside. Before entering Freeside, I stopped by the Gunrunners to see if the vendor was selling any energy cells for my laser pistol. I went into a deep state of depression. I went into a deep state of depression later as I learned that the Gunrunners don't sell any energy cells, which I'm really surprised about. I entered Freeside, stopped by Making Ralph's to see if maybe they sold energy cells. No surprise, they didn't. I left Making Ralph's, got jumped by a homeless guy, killed him, and left the crime scene. I tried entering Freeside, and the game crashed. I loaded the game back up, officially walked into Freeside. My first plan was to go to the Silver Rush, because I knew that they of all people would have energy cells. When I got in, I was greeted by 4 guards, telling me that I would have to wait before I could speak with Gloria Van Graff. I waited like a good boy, watched some guy get vaporized, came face to face with Dr. Doofenshmirtz, and hit the jackpot of energy cells. My plan was to pick up the cells from the table and throw them into the women's bathroom so that I could steal them for myself. This took me roughly 5 minutes of running back and forth, but when it was all said and done, I left the Silver Rush with 280 new energy cells added to my name. I, for whatever reason, stopped into the Atomic Wrangler. Nothing really interesting happened, I don't know why I did that. Left the Atomic Wrangler and made my way to the King's School of Impersonation. Once inside, I spoke with Pacer and got robbed of 500 caps, because I didn't have a high enough speech skill. Met Elvis Presley and questioned him about actually being alive or not. Left the King's Place and made my way to the Strip's north entrance. I, for whatever reason, thought I could get into the Strip somehow. Turns out that I couldn't. Go figure. Left Freeside after feeling defeated. Killed another homeless guy after he tried robbing me of my beans. I took Euclid's Seafinder off of Max because I thought that I could sell it for some high caps. What I didn't know was that it was only worth 1 fucking cap. Thanks, Todd. I officially went back out into the Mojave Wasteland and made a quick stop at the Crimson Caravan Company. It was very brief. I just looked around a bit and then left. Back out in the wasteland, I killed some traveling merchants and left their Brahmin alive so that they could tell the story of Beans, the killer man with the laser pistol. Entered Freeside's north gate, entered Freeside, went back into the Atomic Wrangler, and tried playing blackjack. I do know how to play, just not very good. Don't judge me. Like the great Kenny Rogers said, you gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. I opted for a different approach and got up and started shooting everybody because I got mad that I couldn't win. I ended up dying. Loaded back in, left the Atomic Wrangler, and the game crashed. This happens way too often. Loaded the game back up, left the Atomic Wrangler again, and was off to Camp McCarran again, after I realized what I actually had to do. I entered Camp McCarran, drove a golf cart, and entered the Camp McCarran terminal building. I got lost inside of the terminal building, went inside the supply shack, sold some stuff, and left. After wandering through the terminal building for a while, I eventually found the door to the monorail and traveled to the Strip. Once inside of the Strip, I made my way to the Tops Casino. My first plan was to get the platinum chip from Benny without killing anyone inside. Then I remembered that I didn't have a high enough speech skill to do it, so I followed Benny's request and went into the presidential suite. Got lied to by Benny, left the suite after the chairman showed up, left the casino, went back into the casino, and the game briefly broke. I honestly don't know what happened here, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure what exactly happened. I would be forever stuck here, with the chairman bunched up together at the door, if I didn't reload my previous save. I reloaded my save, did the whole fiasco inside of the suite, stole all of the alcohol on the bar that I could sell for later, left the suite again, went back outside the Tops, and was ready for fucking war. I pulled out my laser pistol, and did my best to kill all the chairmen inside of the Tops. This was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do while playing New Vegas. Without any chems or any kind of special perks, the laser pistol by itself is absolutely dogshit. It was a tough fight, but in the end, I prevailed and killed the chairman inside of the Tops. I looted all the corpses of the chairmen, went to the 13th floor, killed 2 more chairmen, spoke to Yes Man, and decided who to side with. I wanted to originally side with Mr. House this time around, since I never do that in any of my New Vegas playthroughs, but I thought about it more, and just decided to go with Yes Man. I left the Tops, and went to speak with Mr. House anyways. I spoke to Vector, got access to the Lucky 38, and made my way to the penthouse floor. It started raining inside. I spoke to Mr. House about getting back the platinum chip from Benny. He told me that Benny went to the fort, no surprise. I went back to the Tops, talked to Yes Man about taking over the Strip. I left the Tops, and teleported to Primm to begin the long journey to Cottonwood Cove. Along the way, I came across some convicts and killed them, discovered the Nevada Highway Patrol station, killed some Jackal members, and entered the station. Inside, I killed 2 more Jackal members, stepped on a bug, opened the door, stepped on more bugs, looted a body, and left the station. I watched a bark scorpion fall through the world after I killed him, killed a giant ant, leveled up again, came across a bighorner and her calf. I left them alone. They looked like a nice family that you would want in your neighborhood. Saw a calf all by itself and said hello. I passed by Nipton and realized that I haven't been there yet, so I made a quick stop there. That was somewhat a mistake, as I quickly got attacked by legionnaires. If only you could hear the sounds I heard. Every click from their cowboy repeaters reloading was like nails being clipped and shoved down my earhole. It was not fun. No, it was not fun at all. I killed all of the legionaries, whatever, looted their bodies, killed the Jesus cosplayers, that's a mouthful, slept in a bed, said hello to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, and left Nipton to head to Cottonwood Cove. The journey to Cottonwood Cove wasn't very interesting. I killed some Viper members, discovered a few locations before finding Cottonwood Cove. It really wasn't all that interesting, surprisingly. I did discover Camp Searchlight, got into a little scuffle with some NCR ghouls. I found a fork on an NCR glowing one, and kept it for good luck. Because I know a guy, whose name doesn't rhyme with Hall, that once beat Skyrim with only a fork, and I figured that if he did so well with a fork, that the fork would protect me on my way to Cottonwood Cove. I got some cool radiation, and finally discovered Cottonwood Cove. I probably should have mentioned that I was dangerously low on ammo. While fighting a Legion Explorer, I ran out of energy cells, and had no other choice but to flee from the fight. I did manage to escape, and teleported back to Freeside so I can make an emergency stop to craft more energy cells, and possibly buy some from Mick and Ralph's. To no surprise, they didn't have any, so I made a quick stop at the Silver Rush to hopefully buy some. While shopping, I did buy an iron sight upgrade for my laser pistol. They didn't have any energy cells, so I just went ahead and bought the combat sight and equipped it onto my laser pistol. I went back to the strip so that I could deal with some of the groups that Yes Man wanted me to take care of. I started off with the Omertas at Gamora and decided to ignore them, then dealt with the White Glove Society at the Ultralux, decided to ignore them as well, reported back to Yes Man about my decisions, made a quick stop at the Gunrunners to sell some stuff, made some cool profit off of some items, and wanted to try dealing with the Brotherhood of Steel first. What past me didn't know was that would be a big mistake. I made my way to Hidden Valley, went into the bunker, went downstairs, and got blasted by Gauss rifles. What I didn't think of was how powerful the Paladins would be, so I had a thought, and that thought turned into a plan. I thought, what if I got Veronica? Maybe then they wouldn't attack me if I brought her with me. So I tried finding 188 Trading Post. Thanks. So I tried finding 188 Trading Post, forgot about the plan completely because I got distracted by some fiends trying to kill some giant ants. The ants fought hard, but in the end, the fiends won, forever making history in the Great Ant War. I, however, was not happy with the outcome, so it was up to me to change history by killing the fiends and getting revenge for the ants that lost their lives in the battle. I once again ran out of ammo while trying to kill some fiends, and had to book it so I wouldn't die. An idea struck while I was running. I ran into the loving arms of some nearby NCR troopers. They killed the fiends that were chasing me. Out of ideas for getting ammo, and with no stimpaks to my name, I did something I thought I'd never have to do. I traveled back to Good Springs so I could buy stimpaks from Doc Mitchell and ammo from Chad. While in Good Springs, I discovered something that I didn't know you could do. You could turn other energy ammo into energy cells. God answered my prayers, and I had ammo back in my pouch. I bought more energy cells from Chet, and in case anyone has questioned at any point in the video why I have GRA next to my laser pistol when it didn't originally have it when I picked up the laser pistol from Doc Mitchell's house, well, you're in luck. I have the answer for you. I sold the original laser pistol from the beginning of the game and bought a Gunrunner's version of the laser pistol because I wanted to be cool and different than all the other kids with normal laser pistols. At some point I leveled up, left Chet's, and went to visit Doc Mitchell. I spent 1100 caps on stimpaks, left Doc's place, stopped by and visited Ringo, got a cool critical hit on him, went to the saloon, overheard an argument, went and spoke to Joe Cobb about taking over Good Springs. We planned it out. We got ready for the battle against Good Springs, and I gave the Powder Gangers the best April Fool's prank ever by turning around and killing all of them. Their reaction to me blasting them one by one was priceless. I would definitely do it again. The time had finally come. With enough energy cells and stim packs on me, I traveled back to Cottonwood Cove to finally let the real game begin. I killed a few Legion members and was very quickly stormed by multiple Legionnaires. I had one final idea. I didn't know if it would work, but I thought I would try it. I made a break for it and rushed my way to the raft that would take me to the fort. I managed to get to the raft and traveled to the fort, where there I was greeted by almost death. I, for whatever reason, thought it would be a good idea to keep pushing, so that's what I did. I pushed through the Legion soldiers and tried to make my way into Caesar's tent. I can tell you right now that in that moment of loading, I rethought my choice and turned around and tried leaving the fort, as I knew I was not yet prepared to take on Caesar. After leaving, I managed to find a way around the gate because apparently the main gate was unusable, and managed to get away far enough that I could teleport out of there. An idea struck in my noggin, and I thought it actually might work. I traveled back to Cottonwood Cove and stole a Legion uniform so that when I wore it, when I went back to the fort, that they wouldn't attack me. To my surprise, it actually worked. I traveled back to the fort with the uniform on and made my way back up to Caesar's tent without being attacked. Realized I looked like Gordon Freeman and entered Fort Drawbridge. Inside Fort Drawbridge, everything went okay surprisingly. Then I got close to the tent, and shit went south. I pressed onward and entered the tent. Shit didn't go well there. I rushed in, killed Benny, realized he didn't have the chip, Caesar does, and gave up. I tried thinking of ways to getting the chip from Caesar without being killed. My thought of being in the right direction was being in the Legion uniform while entering Fort Drawbridge, but with my bones being like glass against their power fists, I couldn't think of a way to do it. Unless I got to a high enough level so that I could take some damage without turning into spaghetti. Feeling defeated, I traveled back to Freeside, thinking about how I can go about this differently. Then I had a thought, and my mind was set. I wanted to kill Mr. House. I went to the Lucky 38, went to the penthouse floor, said hello to Jane, went to the door, and damn it. Well, not all hope is lost. I know of a way of getting in. There is a Lucky 38 VIP keycard at Camp Golf. If I get it, I can use it and finally end Mr. House's life. So that was the plan. I set a waypoint to where Camp Golf was and started the journey there. While on my way there, I ran into some NCR troopers. They became hostile as I forgot I was wearing a Legion uniform. Tried to change it, they still shot at me, reloaded my save, teleported again, changed my outfit, and we were good. I took a small stop and killed some golden geckos, discovered Vault 34, and finally found Camp Golf. I made my way inside Camp Golf and went up to the balcony. Thought Chief Hanlon had the card on him, so I killed him, took the Ranger Sequoia and his vest, stopped the challenge for a second because I knew I did bad, briefly assumed the role of Chief Hanlon, and reloaded my save. I went back inside, found and grabbed the Lucky 38 keycard, said hello to young Mr. House and Liberty Prime, stole a shit ton of energy cells, and traveled back to the Strip to officially end Mr. House. Went back to the Lucky 38, saw Charlie Chaplin's mustacheless brother, went to the penthouse floor, activated the terminal, dodged some bullets, activated the terminal to the control room, and went down the elevator to meet Mr. House face to face. Opened Mr. House's chamber, briefly spoke to him, and killed him. The deed was done. House was out of the picture. Went back up the elevator, expecting a fight, and the Securitrons weren't hostile? Weird. I left the Lucky 38, spoke to Yes Man about House being dead, and my brain started working again. I had to get Veronica if I wanted to have a chance at finally getting friendly with the Brotherhood, if I remember, of course. I traveled to an area, walked to 180 Trading Post, sold some stuff, met Veronica and got her as a companion, and we set off to Hidden Valley. We got into the bunker, I entered the room without dying, she got the door open, we went inside, and the Brotherhood of Steel was done. We set our marks to Red Rock Canyon to deal with the Great Khans. We got into a little fight with some fiends on our way to Red Rock Canyon. Veronica went unconscious. I had to make my way into Red Rock Canyon alone. She came back. We went inside the Great Khan Longhouse, killed Papa Khan. I took some damage and I had to book it as my health was low and my body was crippled. We went back outside and I ran as fast as the game would let me. I escaped the Great Khans, traveled back to Good Springs so Doc could heal me, did all that stuff, and we made our way to Nellis Airfield to deal with the boomers, made our way to the gate after being shot at by artillery strikes, met Pearl, ended her life, got back out, had to escape some boomers from outside because they knew I killed Pearl, and traveled back to the Strip to inform Guessman about my choices, and the final objective, getting back the platinum chip. With Veronica by my side, getting the chip should be a breeze, or so I thought. We made our way to the fort. I entered Fort Drawbridge, surprisingly wasn't attacked while getting close to the tent, entered the tent, and all hell broke loose when Veronica killed a dog. They were mad at me, and for good reason too. Caesar got mad and tried killing me, but being the big brain that I am, I had an idea. I pumped my system and veins full with chems, and boy did it work well. I killed Caesar, and finally got back the chip. Watching his lifeless body plop to the ground was a joy to my soul. I stole his clothes because I wanted to be the man in charge of the Legion, and I also killed Benny. Fuck Benny. It was getting close to the endgame. I went back to the Strip, spoke to Yes Man again, followed him to the Lucky 38, he put himself into the system, I watched the presentation of the Securitrons, and I wanted to finally go to Hoover Dam. I set a marker for Hoover Dam, and Veronica and I made our way there. I found the road to the dam, discovered it, left the dam and teleported to the Crimson Caravan Company to stock up on supplies, left there and teleported back to the Strip to see Yes Man, talked to Yes Man. He told me to head to the El Dorado substation to attach the override module. I went there, did the thing, teleported back to the Lucky 38, and talked to Yes Man about taking the battle to Hoover Dam. We got to the dam, made my way to the tower, and went down. Spoke to an NCR guy, installed the override chip for Yes Man. A Securitron killed the heavy NCR troopers, so I got a suit of power armor. Went into the power plant, destroyed the dam's generators, and made my way to the Legates camp. I'm going to tell you right now, this was one of the worst fights I'd ever have in my 11 years of playing New Vegas. As I said before, without any chems or high skills, the laser pistol is dog shit. Even with different types of energy cells, it didn't help a single bit against the Legion soldiers or the Legate. With my energy weapon skill at only 60, the laser pistol felt like I was using a silenced 22 pistol with normal 22 rounds at level 5. I was only level 13 when I finished, which I'm sure isn't the recommended level for beating the game. Some of you might call this part cheating. I call this being desperate to finish the game. For some parts of getting to the Legate and beyond that, I had to rely on Veronica to deal with some of the Legion soldiers. That is when she isn't getting knocked out from their power fists or the Legate sword. Spoiler alert, she went unconscious for 95% of the battle while I desperately tried to kill the Legate with what ammo I had. Another spoiler alert, you can call this cheating too. I call it being smart. I cheesed my way through parts of this fight. You'll see how. Anyways, enough rants for now. Back to hell. Veronica dealt with the soldiers the best she could. I had to heal her from time to time. This part of the playthrough basically turned into a without attacking anything run, because I wanted to save my ammo for the Legate, and whatever soldiers I had to kill after killing the Legate. The fight with the Legate went as you expected, horribly. With what chems I had in my inventory that I pumped myself with, my energy cells did fuck all to his health. The fight happened multiple times. Any guesses why? Eventually, I had a plan that might just work. I got up on top of some rocks and dealt with the Legate my way. I started blasting him with everything I had. It was the worst fight ever. Not to mention, I had a legionary shooting at me during the fight. After 15 minutes of shooting at the Legate and doing my best to continuously heal, I actually killed the Legate. And then I died. And then was put back to before I fought him. Motherfucker. After another 15, probably 20 minutes later, of fighting the Legate, he once again was dead. I quick saved afterwards so I didn't have to go through all that bullshit again. Next came the Legion soldiers. Disclaimer and spoiler warning now. This part of the video / battle can be very controversial for die-hard can you beat fans. Take it how you want. If you don't like what I did here, leave a dislike and tell me how I didn't actually beat the game. After hundreds of rounds later, my weapon condition becoming dangerously low, and my lack of stim packs and healing items, I had to think smart about how to deal with the rest of the Legionnaires. I could only think of one way: Veronica. I had to leave the camp so I could get back outside into Hoover Dam, so I started climbing. I did, however, kill off what soldiers I could before leaving and entering. I remembered from another guy's video, whose name again doesn't rhyme with Hall, that if you enter another place, if your companion is down, that they'll regain consciousness and be there with you. So that's what I did. I left the camp, left Hoover Dam, went back into Hoover Dam, and Veronica was right there with me to continue the fight. I used what ammo I had left to kill any Legionnaires I could, and then it happened. I ran out of energy cells. It was up to Veronica to kill the rest of the soldiers. This alone took 20 minutes because, as stated before, she kept getting knocked out. I had to do the leaving and entering trick multiple times, and what seemed like forever, Veronica finally killed all of the Legion soldiers. This was the end. I walked to the front gate to finally confront General Oliver. We talked a bit. I ordered the Securitrons to eliminate him and the NCR Rangers with him. I legitimately thought I was going to die, but God was on my side, and the Securitrons killed General Oliver and the NCR Rangers. Yes Man talked to me, and I beat Fallout New Vegas with only a laser pistol. Alright, now let's talk. Yes, I technically did beat Fallout New Vegas with only a laser pistol. The only factors to that not being true are a couple of things I thought of while editing this video, that some of you may have already yelled at me for. Factor 1. When I visited the Nevada police station on my way to Cottonwood Cove, I stepped on some mantises. I didn't think that it would kill them. I only accidentally killed the first one because I was fighting the Vipers. The rest of them inside of the cell, I did purposefully step on. They did count as me killing them. Factor 2. Veronica. Specifically, Veronica helping and killing the Legion soldiers during and before the fight. Once again, her killing anything did go to my XP counter, which I'm assuming, in theory, would also go to my kill counter. Her kills are not my kills. I didn't kill things that she killed with my laser pistol. Now for my remarks and objections to those claims. The purpose of this playthrough was to beat the game by only using the laser pistol as a firearm/weapon. While I didn't kill the mantises with the pistol, nor the people that she killed, for me, I don't consider it a fault. Sure, I could have abandoned her after leaving Hidden Valley when I wanted to deal with the Brotherhood and played the game the rest of the way on my own. But that would have taken many more days of getting ammo and resources for the battle against the Legate that I didn't want to have to spend. I started this playthrough on Sunday the 18th and finished it Wednesday the 28th. This video took way too long to record, make, and edit, not counting the numerous storage issues I had while recording these takes. So in short, I personally say that I did beat Fallout New Vegas with only the laser pistol. If you don't like my decision, leave a dislike or a mean comment. Try doing this playthrough yourself, and let me know if you could beat it any differently, which I'm sure is possible, of course, with enough time. And that's going to do it for this video about whether or not you can beat Fallout New Vegas with only a laser pistol. A huge and massive shout out to Paul of Mitten Squad for the idea of this video. And before anybody claims that I blatantly stole every aspect of all of his videos, yes, I did directly contact Paul via Twitter if I could do this video in his style with all the cuts and voiceovers. He told me that I didn't have to ask him for his permission to do the video, but as I said to him personally, I will be crediting him here and his channel in the description. Thank you, Paul, for the idea of this video. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy it and you guys want to see more Fallout videos, or stuff kind of like this, I guess, make sure that you leave a comment down below, comment, like, and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss another upload like this. All of my social media links will be down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, I'm, again, really sorry that this video took so long to make and to edit. I really wanted to get this out sooner to you guys. Shit just happened in life, and I really couldn't make this video any faster, so I deeply apologize that I couldn't get this out sooner, but here it is whenever this comes out. With that being said, my name is Cosmo43 Gaming, and I am out.